Mike Pachelli here. For this lesson, I'll be talking about the Beatles recording of There's a Place that they did on February 11th, 1963. The song was written by John and Paul at Paul McCartney's family home on Forthland Road, and it was the lads' attempt to write a song in the style of Motown girl groups. And the initial five-note phrase that starts off the song may have been inspired by the song by the Marvelettes, I Want a Guy. Check that out, you'll see what I mean. But as far as structure is concerned, it's no simple Motown type song because it has a 5-measure intro, a 15-measure verse, a 12-measure second verse, 10-measure bridge, and a 14-measure last verse. So it's quite complex as a composition. About the song, John has said, "There's a Place was my attempt at a sort of Motown black thing, but it says the usual Lennon things. In my mind, there's no sorrow. It's all in your mind." Some say that There's a Place was inspired by the song Somewhere from West Side Story, because in that song there's the phrase, "There's a place for us," but we'll never know. About the song, Paul McCartney has said, "In our case, the place was in the mind. This was the difference with what we were writing. We were getting a bit more cerebral. We both sang it. I took the high harmony. John took the lower harmony or melody. There's a Place was the first song recorded for the Beatles album Please Please Me, and they thought it was going to be a big hit. So they're at EMI Studio 2, February 11th, with the usual lineup, John and George on guitar, Paul on bass, Ringo on drums, and John, Paul, and George singing and playing live. And take 10 was the keeper. A couple of hours later, they decided to have John double-track George's lead line on harmonica. The song was mixed on February 25th, and they recorded it a few more times for different BBC radio shows. They played the song live, but they never did it on any of their national tours. It was released on the Please Please Me album in the UK on the 22nd of March, 1963. In the US, it was on the VJ Introducing the Beatles album that was released on the 10th of January, 1964. And it was the B-side of the Twist and Shout 45, released in February 64 on Tolly Records, which was a subsidiary of VJ. So that's the backstory. Let's get started. John Lennon is playing his Gibson J160E on There's a Place, plugged into a Vox AC30, and I got this guitar doing the exact same thing. In order to play a verse and the intro, you'll need these chords. You'll need an E chord. You'll need an A. You're going to need a C sharp minor. A B chord. You'll need a G sharp minor 7th, an A bar chord, and an F sharp minor. And those are the chords that'll get you through the verse. Now this is a great song for every level of guitar playing, especially for John's part, because the rhythm part pretty much stays exactly the same, or he intends to do it exactly the same throughout the entire song. And it consists of every measure playing a quarter note and then 6/8 notes. So if you count it, it's just 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and slight accents on 2 and 4. Not all the time, but sometimes. But for the intro, which is a 5-bar intro, first you hear a bass drum boop, and then John hammers on from an A to a B, and then he plays 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and on E, and then A, 1, 2, and 3 and hammers on again, and back to, and that's the intro. So slowly it's Then they sing that 5-note thing, da 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 da, and then through the verse. So the verse is E. Now, even though the second measure of E right there, I'm sorry, of B right there is where they sing da da da, the chord note triplets, pop pop pop. But John just continues the same phrase, the 1, 2, and 3, and 4N, to a G sharp minor 7th, A bar chord, down to E, A to F sharp minor, C sharp minor. Hear that? So let me do it in time now with the metronome. Do 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 do, ba doom doom. Now the second verse, let me move my chart, is like half as long with a different middle part. And you're gonna need basically the same chords. Yeah, so slowly, second verse is this. Got that? In time, second verse. 1, 2, 3. Then we come to the bridge. Thank you, Ringo. You'll need a couple more chords. You're going to need an F sharp, like this. And you'll need a G sharp, like this. So the bridge is C sharp minor, slowly. F sharp. E. G sharp. C sharp minor, F sharp, E, G sharp. So, with the metronome, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last verse, nice and slow. And once again, on that triplet, on the second part of the B, we got ba ba ba. John just plays. And then on the fade is just between E and A. So verse 3 in the ending. 1, 2, 3. Fade out. that didn't make it clear enough, you could get the charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com. But that's what John played on There's a Place. George Harrison is playing his Gretsch Duo Jet through an AC-30 on There's a Place. This is a Gretsch country classic, and I'm still going through my AC-30. So he starts off on measure 2, playing in octaves, a D sharp to an E to a D sharp to a C sharp, in octaves like this. Got that? And he does that twice, and then he kicks into the verse with a C sharp to a B to an A. And then on the E, he plays really nice lead guitar stuff, just single notes, like a G sharp to a B, and then the bottom part of an A triad, like a C sharp, E, and an A. B, again, to a C sharp minor, bottom part, and then a little triplet pickup into a B chord. And then on the da da da, he does play triplets. So he goes 1, 2, up to a G sharp minor, played like this, minor 7th, down to that A, which is kind of A over C sharp, and this E major 7th, and an E, B, back to that A over C sharp, and then although the chord is F sharp minor, he plays a B note, and back to the intro lick. Okay, so in tempo, let me do that for you. 1, 2, 3. Then he kicks into the second verse, and it's exactly the same until you get to the B. So it's, you know, that A triad. C sharp minor. Now, George's strum pattern is usually 1 and 3 and 4 and whenever he's playing chords. So like on this B. And now he's singing an ah, and he plays a bar chord, A. Kicks up to that C sharp for the bridge. So in time, verse 2, 1, 2. And now he's at the bridge. Now on the bridge, you basically is playing over the same chords, C sharp minor, but on his F sharp, you know, pretty much just only the bottom four strings. So he's up to C sharp minor note, and then in the second measure, he starts on the 1, 2, and 3, and 4. E, G sharp, C minor, C sharp minor, F sharp, E, G sharp. Easier if I play it in time. The bridge. So he's up here on this C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got that? Okay. Now the last verse, he does something entirely different. He kicks it in the same way, you know. But now he plays just like 3 notes of an E chord and an A chord, like B, E, and G sharp. And he plays this pattern. He plays like to the A, same form. E, A, C sharp minor, to a B bar chord, to a G sharp minor, A bar chord, E major 7th, to a open A, and to get the F sharp minor he plays F sharp and then the line. And on this time it's like a little different. It's actually this melody line is different almost every time, but particularly on the last part it's like it's on 4. It's 1 2 1 2 3 4 and 1. And then on the fade, let's keep playing that. So verse 3 out would sound like this. Etc. Charts and tabs available at MikePachelli.com will, of course, make it clearer than I explain. I've put it together in a sound alike so you can hear how both guitar parts fit together, so have a look at this. Well, there you have a closer look at how the guitar parts of John and George fit together so perfectly way back in 1963. If you'd like to download the charts, they're available for you at MikePachelli.com. And that's where you could drop me a line, and actually all the charts and tabs from my video lessons are available for you to download, and I appreciate your consideration in supporting my work that way. So have fun playing this great old song, and until next time, I'm Mike Pachelli. Thanks for hanging out with me.